So here's 3 ways to help prevent lower back pain in your golf swing. The first one is a simple drill called lumbar rolls, which is a little stretch to help ease your lower back off. The second one, we're going to do a simple glute bridge to help strengthen up the glutes and the lower body. And the third exercise, we're going to do a core exercise called dead bugs to help improve your posture.
So before we get into these 3 exercises, I think it's just a good thing to start with, and what you see in your golf swing could be causing that lower back pain.
Yep.
So many golfers, especially with like a long iron or a driver, trying to give it a bit of a heave up into the air. Loss of posture, falling back, putting a lot of pressure on that lower back. So now, what is exercise number 1?
So exercise number 1, I've called this lumbar rolls. So this is basically an exercise where we're just trying to ease the lower back off. So a lot of golfers complain about stiffness through the musculature of the lower back and a lot of like dull aches, what feels like a bit of a bruise over a long period of time.
Especially sometimes I carry my bag and after a period of time, like maybe 14th, 15th hole, I'm guilty of standing up as well.
Yeah.
I start to feel like I've got that dull ache in my lower back.
Yeah, and this is just a nice exercise to try and get you moving a little bit, and it can take away a little bit of that horrible achiness. Yeah. It won't necessarily cure the problem, but it'll just help you feel a little bit better about it. So if you want a demo, Alex,
we brought the gym to you outside, everybody.
We've got the mat. Come and have a lie down. So obviously if you're at home, a mat's ideal just to take away the fact that we're on a hard surface. Yeah. A towel will do, but just make sure you're on a relatively flat surface to begin with. The bed's not ideal for this just because it wobbles about a bit on the mattress. Quite firm. So you're going to lie all the way back for me. Arms out to the side like a crucifix.
Don't forget guys, you can follow along with me. Put your foot on the side.
So we're going to start as you are with the knees together. Okay. All I want you to do is try and keep your hands down, arms straight, shoulder blades touching the floor, and just slowly drop the knees to one side. So let all the weight come across to me. You should feel a little bit of a stretch if I come onto this side of you, kind of in this area here. Quite nice, it's nothing severe and nasty. And then all you're going to do, come back to the middle. I'm going to roll the opposite way. So you're just dropping the weight down.
How quick should you do this?
Just at the pace you're doing is perfect. We want this to be quite slow because actually what we're getting out of this exercise is a little bit of separation as well. So you've got your upper body facing the ceiling, and we're now just moving your lower body down to one side as far as you can. So you're getting that little stretch position and a little bit of separation through the spine.
That's really nice.
For some people, they might feel a bit of a stretch on the glutes here as well. If you're particularly tight, you can feel it across that glute as well as a little bit in the lower back. So just nice and smooth. I'd say for most people, 10 to 20 reps on this is a nice place to start, and keep it quite slow. You want the pace to be controlled, relaxed. You're trying to increase the range of movement as opposed to whip yourself across left and right really quickly.
Oh, that's so nice.
You look quite relaxed there, Alex.
Certainly do. Okay, so would you recommend people do this daily? Do it before a round, do it as part of your warm-up?
Yeah, I think this is a nice one to do in the evening actually, almost as a cool down. So for most people at the minute, we've been working from home, sat at the desk a long period of time, maybe in the car as well. Just to do it in the evening, 20 reps, you can do it in the morning as well. It's an anytime drill. But for me, this is quite a nice cool down one, just to sort of chill into the night.
Definitely a nice one to start with. Okay, exercise number 2.
So exercise number 2, we're going to go with a basic glute bridge. Okay. So we've spoken before in a lot of our videos about lower body strength being key to the golf swing, but particularly to prevent lower back pain, because when the glutes are inactive, for lack of a better phrase, they're always active or we lie on the floor, less effective we should say, then what we do is we get a lot of the lower back jumping in to try and help you.
So that's when people see a little bit of this.
Yeah, so the glutes don't hold much strength, so we get this thrust in motion coming forwards, arching into the lower back here.
Would you
not very
like
nice.
Day-to-day life would always impact this as well for a lot of people?
Yeah, I think because at the minute, like we said, we spend so much time sat down that we're not doing anything. We're just sat in a chair. The weight's just sat there. It's not being moved. So, and we're not even walking about in our jobs at the minute because we're all at a desk. So we're getting a lot less action than we typically would do. So just day-to-day life can impact that. The lack of golf, just general lack of movement. So for most people, this is an area they're not great at, but a big benefit to your golf swing if you can get it right.
What's exercise number 2? What do we need to do here?
So you're going to lie on your back again, down to the floor. We're making use of our mat today.
Absolutely.
It's getting its money's worth. So this time what we're going to do, Alex, is there's a couple of ways to do this. If you're comfortable, you can cross your foot onto the opposite knee like this. For some people this is too tight in the hip and it's not very pleasant, so what you can do is just let the leg hover out in front as an alternative.
Try this.
That's it.
It's quite tight on my hips, that.
And then what you're going to do is you can either place the hands over your chest if you want to make it slightly harder, or we can leave them on the floor to make it easier. And all I want you to do is you're going to tense up that right butt cheek like you're holding a pound coin underneath it and you don't want to drop it. You're going to raise the hips up so they're level, and then you're slowly going to control down. And if you can, just rest your head all the way back so you're not carrying the weight on your neck. So you're going to hold at the top here for a split second, and then we're going to let the weight fall down. And roughly, again, we're saying about 10 to 12 each leg is about perfect for this. So the key thing here is to drive the glutes up to the ceiling and make sure that you're squeezing.
Would you try both legs together first?
Yeah. So for if you've never done this before, if you're a total beginner, this is probably going to feel like quite a tricky drill. So what we can do, like you say, Alex, is use both feet on the floor to start with. Do you want to just demo the double leg version for us? So it's all the way up to the top and then slowly down. And I think the key thing to remember here is as you raise, that you're not thrusting up from the lower back, you're actually using the glutes to get up.
I think that's a good thing that you said, like, start off feels like you're tensing it and then move.
That's it. The tension's key. We really want to squeeze the glute as much as possible.
Okay, so they're our first two.
Yeah.
You can even do them outside like we are.
I know.
What's the final one?
So the final one is, yeah, I'm afraid so, is a core exercise. We've touched upon this before. We've done dead bugs. We've done a couple of variations. This is the slightly more advanced version, but it's a great exercise for developing a bit of core strength, avoid coming out of posture in the golf swing.
We're sort of saying in the golf swing right now, or just in general day-to-day life, if you've got a bad lower back, you can come from weak glutes and a weak core.
Yeah, essentially it's one of those, it could come from anywhere, particularly if you've been someone that's hurt yourself previously in life. If you've had a fall on your back, it could be something to do with a disc issue. But general basic stuff for a lot of golfers tends to be weak glutes, weak core, tight hip flexors, or all three. So yeah, to help with the core strength, we're going to do this one. So if I give you a golf club, you're going to lie back in the same position you were. If you bring your feet into the air, and what I want you to do is keep your arms straight and you're going to push this club into the knees. There has to be an active amount of tension of you pushing the club into the knee here, which I bet you can feel already before you even move. Now what you're going to do is make sure lower back stays flat to the floor, completely tight. I want you to touch one heel to the floor without twisting the club. Bring it back to the club. Now we're going to move the opposite heel. And I would give you 20 of those to do without you moving the golf club at all. And the whole time you've got to keep pushing that club into the knee. So that's where we're creating the tension, the resistance. And you should feel that your core is fighting against that club twisting.
100%.
Yeah, it's a bit of a burner, this one. It looks like nothing. You have to trust me that this one hurts.
I feel like I'm working really hard right now.
Yeah, you don't look relaxed anymore.
Wow. Okay, and you say, how would you do this in terms of do one go of each then come back and do it again, or would you just treat these in isolation?
Yeah, I think the nice way to do this is in a little tri-set, so in a loop of 3.
Yeah.
So you start on the first one on the lumbar rolls, then come into the second one with the bridges, and come into the third one with the dead bugs. Or your alternative, if you want to split them off a little bit, do the second 2 together and the first one as like a warm-up and a cool-down across the day.
Fab, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
So that's week 1 of our Get Back Into Golf and Prevent Some Injury series. Don't forget another 2 weeks of this, but also Nat's information is all down below. You're open very soon, aren't you now?
2 weeks, we'll be back in the gym.
In fact, actually, by the time this goes up, it's probably that week.
It might actually be, might be gym week.
So all Nat's information is down below to get in contact with her. If you feel this is something that you want to get in your golf game, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to tune in again next Tuesday for some more golf fitness.